International Earth Day. Hi, Charlene, Caroline. Oh, look, hello everyone. Hello. How wonderful. Happy Mother Earth Day, everyone. I'm really excited to be here with you. I get to spend some time with so many folks that I love. Hi, Eve. Hi, Miranda. Alexis. Yeah, this is wonderful. So, hi, I'm Dolly. And I am really excited to do a little just Earth Day poetry reading celebration with you. And yeah, there's so much going on in the world right now, and yet there's also there's nothing happening. It's this strange relationship of sort of having to be still, be still, and let things run their course, and a lot of it feels like completely out of, it feels totally out of my control. I wonder if you can relate. And so, I think that, when we're stuck at home in this kind of way, which is unprecedented, it can feel a little bit like a trap. But, there's so much freedom in maybe changing perspective around this, and looking at this as like a gift of time. And I think that it's interesting to observe how the earth is reacting to it. So, we're having to adjust quite a bit, and there's a lot of shifts and inner work that's happening for each and every one of us, I'm sure. But today is about honoring the earth and all that she offers us, and how even right now she's just blooming, right? And I think that there's such a comfort in that, in the fact that spring is spring still, and we can depend on that right now, and the gloriousness of some of the things that are happening in the world, just like how this is affecting the earth, is such a positive. And I just want to read you some poems that really embrace the beauty of the ground that we walk upon, the air that we breathe, the trees we brush up against, the water we drink. I think it's important to honor that, because while there's all of this, change, chaos, whatever you want to call it, while this pandemic is happening, the earth, she's really standing strong for us. She is a stable force right now for us to depend upon. So that's enough out of me. I want to start with some deep breaths. So mainly because I get so excited during these things that I can't breathe. So I need some deep breaths, and maybe you'll join me. So just come into any comfortable tall seat. And just hello to everyone who's joining right now, and just I love you, and it's so nice to share space and time with you. And I'm gonna be reading a little bit. I just got like a bug in my face. Mother Earth happening, just like flying into me. I just want to say I'm going to be reading, so I might not be able to check in like constantly, but I just want you to know that I feel you, and I'm really, really, really grateful to have you in my home with me. It makes this place feel crowded in the most beautiful way. So thank you for crowding around me. So yeah, comfortable tall seat, and just bring your hand somewhere on your body that feels connected to you. Close your eyes. And before you change anything, I just want you to like right away observe, notice how you're breathing without adjusting it. Notice your body, how it feels. Bring a little attention to the way your breath sort of skims across your upper lip as you inhale and exhale through your nose. And then let's take a few rounds of deep breaths, really cleansing breaths. Get weird if you need to, okay? It's allowed. Take a deep inhale. Open your mouth. Again, breathe in. Big sound. One more. And then seal your lips, and you might need to swallow a couple times. And then find that same full breath, but in and out through your nose. Keep it gentle, but really stretch your lungs. Almost like you're super thirsty and you're just gulping in water. I want you to breathe that way. Feel that quench. So you stay close to your breath. I'm going to, a lot of the poems I have today are actually by this beautiful poet, Mary Oliver. I think she just, she writes about us, herself, you know, human connection and earth connection, and just like Mother Nature, and she just weaves those those two things, the relationship between you know, all things being connected. She just weaves that into her writing so beautifully that most of the reading is from her today. But there's this book, I don't have it with me, so I printed off the quote from it, or the sort of daily horoscope, I guess you could say. The book is called The Language of Letting Go. And every day there's like a just for today reading. And so today, April 22nd, Earth Day, the reading is called Coping with Stress. So I'm going to read you about today. Inevitably, there are times of stress in our lives, no matter how long we've been in recovery. Sometimes the stress is outside or around us. We're feeling balanced, but our circumstances are stressful. Sometimes the stress is within, and we feel out of balance. When the stress is external and internal, we experience our most difficult times. And during stressful times, we can rely more heavily on our support systems. It's important that during these times, we reach out to our friends and the groups that can help us feel more balanced and peaceful in spite of our stressful conditions. Affirming that the events taking place are temporarily uncomfortable, part of a good, solid plan can help. We can assure ourselves that we will get through, we won't be destroyed, we won't crumble or go under. It's important to remember this, that this is temporary but necessary. It helps to go back to the basics, to focus on detachment, dealing with feelings, and taking life one day at a time. Our most important focus during times of stress is taking care of ourselves. We are better able to cope with the most irregular circumstances. We are better able to be there for others if we're caring for ourselves. We can ask ourselves regularly, what do we need? What might help us feel better or more comfortable? Self-care may not come as easily during times of stress. Self-neglect may feel more comfortable, the easier path. But taking care of us is what always works. So for today, let us remember that there is no situation that can't be benefited by taking care of self. Just bring your two hands together and then start to rub them together really fast. Your breath is still easy. Maybe you close your eyes and just rub a little faster for another couple seconds until your arms start to ache a little bit and you feel the rawness of who you are. One more breath in. And as you exhale, slow it down and just bring your hands to your chest. If you can, get right onto some skin, right onto your heart, and really press your palms down into your being. And each time you breathe, you feel yourself expand into your own hands. It is important to remember that you too are a part of nature, an essential part of the ecosystem. And so what is happening right now, I don't have the answers for, but there must be a reason, a piece of wisdom that we will gain from all of this. I'm going to read you another poem. This book is called Blue Horses, and it's Mary Oliver. And I flagged a poem in here. It's called First Yoga Lesson. Of course, I found it fitting because, well, why yoga? But also because there really is like a rawness to the practice and a vulnerability that I think, you know, life before today, maybe we would have to work a little more harder at tapping into. But with what's happening in the world right now, I think we all feel we wake up feeling more vulnerable. And that's good to sit with that. It's good to be forced into that. To have a lot of feelings, a full spectrum of emotions is really healthy and probably inevitable right now. And that comes up, I find, with yoga. And I love this poem because it brings, again, Mother Nature right into it. So it's called First Yoga Lesson. Be a lotus in the pond, she said, opening slowly, no single energy tugging against another, but peacefully all together. I couldn't even touch my toes. Feel your quadriceps stretching, she said. Well, something was certainly stretching. Standing impressively upright, she raised one leg and placed it against the other, then lifted her arms and shook her hands like leaves. Be a tree, she said. I lay on the floor exhausted. But to be a lotus in the pond, opening slowly and very slowly rising, allowing time for this process. That I could do. So just take another moment. If your eyes are open, close them, and just bring your arms sort of crisscross your chest and grab hold of yourself. Take a few rounds of breath in here and breath out. I love you very much. The next poem I'm going to read is from the same book. And actually, I'm going to pause. I'm going to read you this one first. This is also a poem by Mary Oliver. It's called Wild Geese. A teacher of mine read this in class one day, and this was a few years ago now, and I was just starting to teach, and she read this in class, and that was the day I decided that reading poetry was going to be a part of my life, and sharing it just because of the way it made me feel when it was shared with me. So yeah, I see some I love yous. I love you too, Michelle. So this poem is called Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about your despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high in the clear blue air are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination. She calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of all things. Just take a moment and wrap your arms around yourself again. Bow your head in and think in times like these, especially when we're spending a lot more time alone or with the same people, one or the other, comparison can really come up. It can be comparing ourselves to the world around us a lot. And I think, spring is blooming right now, and so are you. It might not feel comfortable, and it may not look as growth has looked for you before, because times have changed. But just to leave space for yourself. To travel this new road and trust that the shifts that are happening inside you are for a reason. The discomfort is for a reason. Something is growing, something new. So just a couple more poems here. This one again is from the Mary Oliver book, Blue Horses again, and it's called Such Silence. As deep as I ever went into the forest, I came upon an old stone bench, very, very old. And around it, a clearing, and beyond that, trees taller and older than I had ever seen. Such silence. It really wasn't so far from a town, but it seemed all the clocks in the world had stopped counting. So it was hard to suppose that the usual rules applied. Sometimes there's only a hint, a possibility. What's magical sometimes has deeper roots than what is reasonable. I hope everyone knows that. I sat on the bench waiting for something, an angel perhaps, or dancers with the legs of goats. No, I didn't see either, but only, I think, because I didn't stay long enough. Bring your hands together again, and once again rub them. And then take a full breath in. And as you exhale, start to slow down and just bring your hands to your eyes or somewhere on your face. And as you close your eyes, allow that little bit of darkness to sort of be this blanket of security, a moment of comfort where instead of looking outward, you're looking inward. I think we have a lot of time to get very stuck in our heads. But this opportunity, this gift of time, this quiet around us is truly a chance for us to go inward. How we got here maybe is unfortunate, but what is happening in this present moment right now, just even between you and I, is an opportunity to connect, but also a chance to reflect on our own insides, to offer some healing there, some rest. Slowly slide your hands down your face now, along your cheekbones. If you look weird, good, the better. Give a little massage through your jaw, right up into your ear. You might draw your fingers forward to your chin and just go all the way around, maybe along your cheekbones, down your cheeks, just 2 more big circles, whatever you need, temples. Good. And then slowly let it go. I have another poem here for you. It's called Mornings at Blackwater by Mary Oliver as well. For years, every morning, I drank from Blackwater Pond. It was flavored with oak leaves and also, no doubt, the feet of ducks. And always it assuaged me from the dry bowl of the very far past. What I want to say is that the past is the past, and the present is what your life is, and you are capable of choosing what that will be, darling citizen. So come to the pond, or the river of your imagination, or the harbor of your longing, and put your lips to the world and live your life. Wrap your arms around yourself again. Bow your head in a little bit. I have one more poem for you after this, but just take a moment and really grab hold of yourself. So this last poem is by Danielle Dobie, and I always have to read something from her. I don't know if you can see all of the bookmarks, and I had to take some out because it was just getting way too crowded in there, but this book just, it just always saves me a little bit. So I want to share this little poem with you. It's called The Practice of Self-Loving. And okay, first what I want to say though is, and I love this poem and I want to read it to you. It's probably really hard right now for most of you, me too. There's a game of comparison that happens in the mind. And again, I've said this, but we have so much extra time to think and focus, and it can be a time where things feel a little bit more heavy, a little bit more negative. And so I want to keep encouraging you on this beautiful day where we celebrate Mother Nature. You know, I think Mother Nature for me, Mother Earth for me, really represents like, just like, I mean, when we see things bloom in the world, it's so lovely, right? It's beautiful and lovely, and it comes from sometimes not the perfect place or the perfect conditions. But this ability to sort of break wide open and break through and move through even the most arduous of times, you know, it comes from really tapping into self and paying attention and observing and giving yourself space, and offering yourself compassion. And we need that most right now. You need to give yourself permission right now to feel every layer of feeling. Because it's all honest. It's all real. And self-love doesn't look like being happy all the time. It doesn't look like sunshine all the time. The light comes from moving out of the dark. So as you sit in it, feel it out, get really, you know, just allow yourself to hang your head low at times and embrace that and accept that, so that you can really define the difference. You can really feel the sincerity of a good moment. And it will come more naturally, I think, when you're not trying to drown something else out, right? If you just give it all a little bit of room. then you're not fighting. You don't need to fight yourself right now. You need to love yourself right now. And maybe that sounds like some really hippie stuff, but I'm telling you, some words of kindness to yourself every morning, wrap your arms around your own body. We need this right now. This practice of self-love, that's what's gonna heal. Yeah, give it all a little bit of room. Absolutely. Give it all a little bit of room. So, the practice of self-loving. I am in love with the sound of my solitude. My alone is the greatest gift I can offer myself. The relationship I have with self is a sacred one, for it is the soil all connection will bloom from. Being in the work of belonging teaches me that I cannot use other people as a means of escape from my pain or my past. The work teaches me that the key to infinite love is when I crack my chest open wide enough to invite myself to come back in. I do not wait on others to choose me. I take control of what it means to belong when I choose myself first. I'm going to read it one more time. The practice of self-loving. I am in love with the sound of my solitude. My alone is the greatest gift I can offer myself. The relationship I have with self is a sacred one, for it is the soil all connection will bloom from. Being in the work of belonging teaches me that I cannot use other people as a means of escape from my pain or my past. The work teaches me that the key to infinite love is to crack my chest wide open and invite myself to come back in. I do not wait on others to choose me. I take control of what it means to belong when I choose myself first. So just one more little self-hug. Wrap your arms strongly around yourself. Bow your head in, close your eyes, and we'll take 5 breaths here. Breathe so deeply, it's like your lungs are trying to push through your arms, and then hug yourself tighter, as if you're answering a call of longing. One more breath here together. And a full breath out. Slowly release. And so I just wanted to thank you again for spending this time with me. And I hope you have just a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. And I love reading with you too. And please come find me again. I'm teaching some poetry and power yoga classes for Y Yoga. They're live Zoom classes. You can just sign up through their site. It's Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. So if you're an early riser or you're still working from home, then it's kind of this vibe, you know, but there's a little bit more movement involved, obviously. So I would love to see you. And if this is our only moment together, it was a wonderful moment. So thank you for sharing it with me. And I love you. I love you. I love you. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you so much.